Welcome back. We've got everything set up on the back end. Nerdy, are you excited for this best of 5? Yes or yes?
Absolutely. Sorry, I didn't give you a yes. I gave you an
It's
absolutely.
okay. I love it. It's okay. Beautiful
Nah,
stuff.
I've been looking forward to this one. This is a good match. Raw was definitely not expecting to necessarily go against Oxidiot, but I think in any case, this sets up for a very good match. I feel like both these runners just been in every single play. I don't know. I feel like they're both just very prominent names in playoffs. And yeah, I'm just very excited to see where we go from here.
Yeah. Match that we could potentially see in quarterfinals or semifinals of other brackets is in our round 2 today. And this is a Rao's player spotlight, another spotlight we didn't see yesterday, as Rao did have a bye going into today. 700 ranked games, only played against Oxy 3 times though. Again, just works out that way a lot of the time due to time zones or things like that. And a nice win rate and a nice ranked average time though. So very good stuff from Raul. And in the Minecraft accomplishments, definitely something that he would have fact-checked himself, but I do believe it. Highest average leaderboard finish among all 5 seasons. I don't know. I'd have to look at how many people are multiple time rank 1 players at the end of the season. But I know that Ra's definitely up there. And if not, has been rank 1 at the end of most seasons, been rank 2, rank 3, very up there.
Right.
So can he clutch out a playoffs performance? I think Raul, like you said, has played in every playoffs, but has gotten out in the first round in 3 out of 4 of them. Granted, don't think that's necessarily entirely his fault most of the time. If I look back to season 1, he played against Dougal in round 1, which, potentially an issue with how the seeding worked out, but that's maybe not the fairest of season 1 matchups. And in season 4, played against Vstrid round 1, who we just saw have a very, very impressive series against Automat. So not necessarily Raul's complete fault, losing some best of 3s as well. Best of 3s, again, pretty RNG too. If you make one mistake, have to basically play perfect in the other 2. But Raul, sub 11 average off 700 seeds. Stats look good. I think we throw over to Oxy Stats, has least ranked matches out of anyone we've seen yet. Only 120, but
Right.
Almost the exact same ranked average time. High 10 minutes. And again, the win-loss bad, but very little sample size, so don't think it's really that telling.
Right, because it's probably one of those things where, the more matches you play, then it's not that this. I don't think it's the sample size. I think 120 is good. I think the thing is that as you play more games, you get higher and higher elo. So then you're going against harder and harder opponents in theory. So that's probably what would make the win rate higher. I would assume. But it also could just be skill. 64% win rate is not. I think we've seen that before. So it's not like that's unheard of or something. It's just very impressive in either case.
Yeah. Completely agree. And let's look at the pick bands here real quick before we throw it into the seeds. But I'm ready to get this match started whenever, Nerdy. We're seeing another Desert Temple, 3rd one of the day. Picked twice in the last best of 5. And picked again today. Very exciting stuff. Shipwreck band, BT band. So no ocean seeds. No ocean overalls, at least till game 4 or game 5.
And
that is seeing Village, Temple, and Rune Portal.
Yeah, this is very fascinating. For some reason, I remember Oxy always banning the shipwrecks. I don't know if I'm making this up.
I think if I would play, I think I would always ban the shipwrecks. It's just whack. I don't know.
I would ban the Desert Temples if I were playing. I'm sorry, Feinberg.
Brother.
They're just, I just want more food. I'm a hungry individual.
That is not very mangy of you, bro. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. I don't want to eat rotten flesh, Feinberg.
I don't want to
feel
eat
like that's-
poisoned potatoes. Hello?
Okay, for what it's worth, I'd rather eat a poisoned potato than rotten human flesh. Like, that's my take. Okay.
Oh, so now we're going the realism angle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not drown. I'd rather experience archaeology. I'd rather experience ancient civilization.
I mean, okay, that's actually a really good argument.
All I'm saying.
That's a really good argument.
What happened to the last people who went to go see the Titanic? That's what I'm saying. You didn't hear from me though. That's what I'm saying. Who went to the Titanic last?
Listen, Jesus.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen.
Didn't hear from me.
It's like it's a different boat. It's a different boat. We're not going that deep, you know.
Hey, nerdy, it's a different boat, but at the end of the day, it's the same ocean. So I'm not
One's in Minecraft, bro. One's in Minecraft. It would be so cool though. Imagine if the Minecraft ocean went down like miles. That would be awesome.
That's a bar? Yeah, guys. That's why you're here. At the end of the day, we might all be in different boats, but we're in the same ocean. Don't look into it too hard. There are more than one ocean in the world. There is more than one ocean, whatever. Both these runners entering same lava pool, basically same time, on the bastion. What's the food situation looking like? I think rotten flesh for both runners. Where's this bastion? We're like on it, but we're not on it. There's the fort. Bastion felt closer than it was, but a little bit more of a trek than it seems.
Here we are.
And what are we dealing with? Is it stables? Is it a bridge? Is this a bridge left side single, perhaps? Oh, Oxy hitting a piglin. Potentially not amazing for aggro. It is housing, actually, so... I mean, I knew it wasn't treasure, at least. But Oxy's able to use this pig aggro potentially to her advantage. Getting into the top down. Round 3.5 hearts, though. Scary with rotten flesh as only food source. But he makes it work. Both runners at the backup blocks. And the fort was visible, but it was notably over a lava lake, so that's a couple pearls away. So food management going to be pretty crucial in this seed. 3 gaps, though, from the temple. Just saw in Rao's Rao's inventory. And I also saw that Oxy had a cooked salmon from grabbing tactical fishing from the river and FNSing that salmon. So smart food play there. Could end up mattering for some fast hearts, fast heal. But I think the 3 gaps is going to carry a lot of weight throughout this seed. It's almost like it almost complements the rotten flesh so well. Because rotten flesh, it gives two bars of hunger. Like that's a lot for how like dog shit the saturation and like the hunger effect is. Versus like a gap gives also 2 bars of hunger, but it gives you insane regen and absorption. So like you almost don't need the hunger to actually heal. But it doesn't give as much hunger as, let's say, like a steak, which is 4, or golden carrot, which is 3. So they almost offset each other really well.
Right.
In the sense that you could chug like 2 or 3 rotten flesh to get your hunger bars up and then hit the gapple for the regen. So you're not burning all that hunger with the effect trying to insta heal hearts. It's actually very nice. Are both these runners out though? We're seeing a pearl hang from either one? No, Oxy leaving. I think Rao leaving as well. That's how fast housing is. I go on 1 yap session and they're already at the fort. Beautiful bastion. Look at this though. Rao with a slightly better pearl doesn't hit the side of the fort, and now he's got some terrain advantages here over Oxy. Able to pearl onto the spawner first. Oxy with some strays though. Always so unclear in these forts. It feels like someone, it feels like you can visually sometimes see, like, or at least in my head, it's like, I think this person's playing it better. They're at the spawner faster. They've seen more blazes, but look at Oxy's screen. There's just like, there's so many strays. There's like 5 to the right. Rao's at a blaze bed here, but I think I think he's so far behind.
I mean, this is absurd.
Are these strays going to still be here? Have they despawned? I mean, Oxy on a heart and a half, so a little scary
Look at all of
with
them,
the round
though.
flesh. But there's so
See, like,
many strays.
6.
Oh my god, so scary! Playing so aggressive with the Blaze melee there. But like on the other hand, you look at Ral. He's just killed 5 Blazes and a spawner, and
Oh my
Oxy's on
goodness.
1 heart. I think a skeleton.
It's just so scary.
4
Going for the
rods,
hunger
first
reset,
portal.
probably.
Look at this. The first portal though is not being overlapped
Man,
at a
did you see the arrow?
spawner.
Oh my god. That
Yeah.
arrow was... That arrow was almost just the end of the run.
And people in chat, I was looking at Ral. Apparently, Oxy threw her gaps in fire.
What? I
So
didn't see
now-
this.
Well, Fulham's got to run that back. Is all I'm saying, because now Oxy ate rotten flesh, and I didn't see it happen, but chat's correct. There's no gaps in Oxy's inventory. 8 rotten flesh is the only food source. Is gonna maybe play for another fish potentially for food. Not going to. I think maybe just gonna hunger reset here in the overworld, but that is crazy time loss in this situation. Especially if Ral still has 1, maybe even 2 gaps left. Gonna save a hunger reset. Gonna save aggressive play. Ral has that 3rd rod, is able to go to cords. There he goes. Yeah, Ral still has 2 gaps left. Gonna chug 1 to potentially pearl again in the lava here. Not sure how close we are. Gonna swim up actually onto terrain. And Oxy's able to leave as well, but can't aggressively pearl as much. 2 pearls would kill her. So after this, has to eat some rotten flesh if she wants to pearl again, but is at cords. Better terrain than what Ral took, potentially, from the strays. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Are they going to the same, they're not going to the same stronghold.
Oh,
That's the
there
difference.
you go.
Pause neg for Oxy, neg pause for Ral. And a little bit of seed RNG seems to have completely saved the pace for Oxy here.
Wow.
2.5 hearts doesn't seem to matter at all. You're just gonna need, 1 hunger reset in the portal room.
Ral
Ooh,
struggling a little
skeleton,
bit here.
2.5 hearts. Early hunger reset here. Ral mines some glowstone and is at Y 104 in a basalt. So unclear if he's going to
Oh wow.
pearl down
Great
here. Does Oxy have explosives for 0 though? I think that's what Ral was grabbing glowstone for. So Ral very behind entering the end here, but I'm not sure if this is zeroable. 3 bed, 2 anchor, but maybe only 1 glowstone. Yeah, so have to half bow here. And Oxy is significantly in the lead, but Ral does have 0.
Yep.
So gonna potentially come down to half bow RNG, 0 RNG. I don't know how many explosives Ral obtained with mining the glowstone. I don't know if he has to hunger reset, if he ate his 2nd gap. Not entirely sure. But Oxy's still half bowing, and Ral needs to find his way to this portal room. He does have another gap, so can instantly crank the 0 if he finds it. Ooh, skeleton, not good. Looking for the portal room. Doesn't see it exposed. Not good for Ral. Seed RNG not in his favor here. Differing strongholds.
Wow.
And Oxy's dragon still just waiting on that perch every second that Ral takes here.
More opportunity for
Yeah. And the
Oxy,
insta perch will kick in after a couple minutes. I think it was the way he was going originally. Because you know it's an ocean exposed stronghold and you know you don't see it exposed, so it sort of has to be buried somewhere. Has to be some deep nav.
Here we go, maybe this.
He finds it, and he's going to be able to go for the 0. Has to still craft things, though. 3 anchors, so has 6 explosives. Oxy still no perch, but if it snaps soon, it could still be over. Is that another fireball, though? It is. Raul gets to go for it. It's back
Here we
dragon.
go.
Oh my god, he has to push it, though. Has no health. This has to be a 4 explosive. Maybe a 5 if he's lucky. He has some armor.
Yeah, he has some armor.
But it has to be a 5 explosive. Oxy gets the snap. It's going to be too much. It's going to be too little too late.
Wow. That's unfortunate for Raul.
Oh my god, and he's on pace for the 5 as well. Could even get 6 off because of the damage overlaps, but it's just too late. He clutches the 0.
Wow.
But too much time in the stronghold is going to do him in.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they played entirely different seeds after leaving the fort. Oxy had such an insane time save on the terrain. 1 minute finding the stronghold. After having to hunger reset in the overworld due to burning her gap, saved a full minute on the terrain nav, and then another minute on the simpler preemptive. And it still somehow was crazy close. But Oxy, I think, maybe even triggered that 3-minute forest perch almost. Well, almost a 3-minute end split. But just
I mean, that's just unfortunate for Raul. I feel like Raul really did play the seed better in that one. Just, making less mistakes, being more consistent.
Didn't burn the gaps. It's just like you blind different spots in the fort, and you're far away from both strongholds, so the runners head to different spots, and it's just the way the cookie crumbled.
Yep.
Wasn't able to get the RNG they needed, but no, it's a best of 5. We still
that's I mean, yeah, so like logically, if the RNG here, hopefully it'll if you're Raul and you're really like, you keep playing consistent like that,
yeah,
on average,
you can't really be disappointed at how you played that seed. Like, I guess you could look at it like, hey, maybe you lost a little bit too much time in the stronghold. Maybe didn't trust a preemptive spike as much, but those ocean strongholds, they are very good baits. You don't see it instantly. You see it's ocean. You want to go out there and you want to check it, and then it doesn't get there. So you're almost sort of like shoehorned into taking too much time loss. Versus if that was the same exact stronghold, but just in like a mountain or whatever, he wouldn't have went out and looked around and wouldn't have had that time loss and potentially would have won the seed. But it's just a different situation there. And the room portal pick.
This is
again doesn't matter too much, but
sorry, go. But yeah, the room portal is exciting. I'm a big rune portal fan. I'm hoping that we get like a good rune portal. I feel like we've been getting a lot of kind of mediocre rune portals today, and I would love to see.
Yeah, we've had the 2 rune portals that they played in match 1 were disgusting. They were both hanging rune portals, both not obsidian completable, and one of them didn't even have an iron pick on the enter. So it's just a disgusting situation. So hopefully we see some speed on these rune portals. Oh my god, it's another hanging rune portal that's not obsidian.
Wow. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, as you say.
I mean, we have a notch, I guess, and we have enough iron for a pickaxe, I guess, but it's just... yeah, not pretty, the rune portals today.
I mean, hey,
and the notch looks good, but it's almost like a bait as well. Like I was talking about the gaps, only 2 hunger bars with the food. A notch is even more of an outlier in that situation. You have still only 2 hunger bars worth of healing, but obviously a notch can get you from half a heart to 18 or 16 or something. I don't know exactly how many rows of absorption. I think it's 8 hearts. But
and some interesting differentiation here. We can see Oxy getting a gold axe and an iron shovel, whereas Raul going for just the stone tools and the
with shears.
Shears, yeah. And I don't know. I feel like I
mean, Oxy could have still played. Oh my god! The seed reset.
No. That's a full reset.
A desynced obsidian. A minute gone. Oh man.
And Raul doesn't know.
Raul doesn't know. Raul will know soon, but he doesn't know now. Wow. I mean, we could, again, this is another clip that Fulham has to run back, but this is now the second time that Oxy's made a slight mechanical mistake that has lost potentially minutes. Burning the gaps in seed 1, misplacing in Lava Bucket seed 2. And it must have been desync. I mean, maybe a tick away from the correct placement of that Lava Bucket, but Raul's on the Bastion. And again, like you said, Nerdy, he doesn't know now, but he's going to start to know eventually. Why is Oxy not in the Nether? What could have possibly happened in our Ruin Portal overworld? And he's going to start to put the pieces together in his head that he's going to have a significant lead. Second attempt here for Oxy. Very safe water this time, but it doesn't matter if you misplace the Obsidian. But it's executed correctly this time. In the Nether, a minute gone. And I think notably, Nerdy, Oxy is trying to play faster. I don't think she grabbed any food on this second run back. I think it would be in her hotbar. I mean, there's 2 open spaces in her hotbar, so I think it would be there. And Raul's got 5 pork chop. Granted, it is stable, or it is bridge, so could get some food from a Hoglin, but Raul has much more food in this situation. So we'll see. But I think Raul has a commanding lead here so far, just 3 minutes into this seed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's undeniable. As
no Hoglin too visible on the bridge here for Oxy, so potentially 0 food seed apart from the notch.
Yeah, and I mean that is manageable, but definitely not ideal.
Ooh, ugly pig situation here. Half down, half up. Terrain to the bottom part of that triple. She's handling it very well, though.
Oh man, like Raul has a
0
lead
damage.
And the food?
Yeah.
Ooh, this could be really good for Raul.
It was a good save from Oxy, though. It took 0 damage in that situation somehow, which is very well executed. Raul, I think, sending a Pearl Hang here, checking this second triple. Needs some Obsidian. Only has 8. Now has 23.
Wow.
So I think is going to go check trades once more. Threw out his axe. I don't know if that was on purpose. It is, yes. Can craft an iron axe. Pre-crafts the blaze bed as well. Is going to go check this trading hole and then leave. And Oxy's not that far behind. 28 Obsidian. Has the trades. Might be leaving as well. Ooh, threw a bad pearl, though. No food. Yeah, but Oxy is out faster. Somehow.
I think it's just...
Maybe Raul taking too much time in this Bastion, maybe too confident. Oxy's in the fort first.
Wow.
I think the like sort of connected terrain triple, I don't think it's saved a minute. Raul must have made a mistake or 2 in the Bastion, but he's behind. And yes, Oxy does have no food, but Oxy has 16 hearts. So very possible that can just 0 off of this situation. And even just 1 hunger reset in the portal room isn't as big of a deal as it's made out to be.
Right. I mean, this game is now so much closer than it was.
Yeah, somehow. I really, it is unclear to me how Raul lost a minute heading to the fort from the Bastion or in the Bastion split. Oxy playing up Blazebedded spawner. Raul on strays. Raul Blazebedded 1 spawner. Currently at a second one as well. Like Oxy, I think, better stray situation. Again, might potentially have a lot of rods at this point. Raul has 3. At a Blazebedded spawner, 4. 5. But Oxy, I think, has killed a lot of blazes too. Has 5 as well. More blazes on the screen. 2 more. And it's very even. And again, the food situation, not entirely there, but the 1 hunger reset isn't going to lose that much time. If it even does have to come out. How far is this second portal, though? Will make the difference. Wow, 750 only. So if Oxy only has to throw 1 pearl, could potentially not have to hunger reset at all. Heading into the 0. Both runners on 5 rods. Oxy has more blazes to kill. Rao's at a double spawner though as well. Does it drop off this blaze for Rao? It does not. That means it's not going to drop off this blaze for Oxy though. And Rao, 3 more, is able to leave.
Oh, wow, makes a mistake with the pearl.
It's okay, he's got 2 pork chops, but yes, got hit off, needed to use a second pearl. But he's got 2 pork chops to spare, going to be able to eat 1 more after that damage. So not going to have to hunger reset. Oxy will at 6.5. Rao ahead on food, on health, and on pace. Going to come down to the preemptive. Spike to the right.
There he goes.
Pretty obvious situation here. Potentially some straightforward nav. But both runners getting a little turnaround. Is it down the staircase? See some light. It is. Rao spots it. I said, okay, it's not actually. That very much looked like iron bars to me with the variant I'm looking at. But he's preemptive scanning and committing to this spike deeper. Oxy in the same situation, also preemptive scanning. Committing down the same staircase Rao was. They both really like this direction, but it might be a fake zombie spawner. It might be spider spawner, stuff like that, because it's not giving this direction in the stronghold itself. So both runners, similar levels of confusion. And now we're in a situation too where Rao is going to have to hunger reset as well.
Wow.
If it's not a very straightforward 0, 9.5 hearts, food in this chest, he's not going to check it. Curling over. Oh, wow. What a fight, but Oxy in the same spot as well. And Rao still has the notch. He didn't eat the notch at all in the fort. I didn't even know. No hunger reset needed at all. And he's in.
Wow.
So what food management throughout the seed from Rao. And it's potentially a hard 0, though. Needs a pearl clip. Front 1 and 8. Does he push 88? Does he push 92? He's pushing 88. Pushing... No, not 92. 89. Okay. Gets there with a pearl clip. 1 full rotation to spare as well. Has the crossbow. It's Rao's game to lose at this point. Good KB on the first bed.
It's a double.
Clean double bed. He's got the explosives as well. Not as clean there. 3 anchors left.
There we
2
go.
left, but very little health left on the dragon, and he clutches it out. But very close from Oxy, though.
Yeah, right behind. Oh, well. It does not matter, but...
For a second, it was very close, but...
Wow.
I mean, if you look at that seed, though, Oxy losing, a minute on the overworld with no food? And I have no idea where that minute came from in the Bastion.
So I think part of it's not getting food,
I guess
right?
it wasn't a minute. Yeah, I guess it wasn't a minute, in the Nether, but it's 57 seconds worth of split from Bastion to Fortress.
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I feel like maybe just the routing was just a little bit.
Yeah, it could have been that the DK route from
middle with Oxy.
Yeah, Oxy just Oxy played like a terrain connected standard right side triple route. I think Rao did DK, and it just didn't need as many gold blocks traded. Didn't need the full 16 traded, and I think didn't even need to check maybe the other triple.
Yeah,
so Oxy
I think that was
able
the big
to
thing.
Aggressively leave earlier, and it didn't punish her in that seed. And I mean, props to Oxy for noticing, that I am very behind, knowing that you just completely lost a full minute in the overworld to misplaced lava bucket, what's the word for it? You're not summoning the obsidian. Misgenerated obsidian? I guess you're generating it? Like a misgenerated obsidian? Hello? Is my mic on? Wait. Hello?
It's okay. It's okay. We know what you mean, but in either case, I mean, overall, very well played to Oxy as well. That's another seed where, okay, obviously Oxy made the mistake at the very beginning, but other than that mistake, the seed played from there on out was very good. And I guess until the 0, but
yeah. And both runners having very similar preemptive issues in that stronghold. I mean, obviously no way to tell unless we popping spectator on that seed, but potentially zombie spawner bringing them both that direction, potentially spider spawner. Not really any clue there, but we're ready to watch the full analysis, see what we missed, Nerdy, because there was honestly a lot that we missed while watching those seeds for the first time live. So let's see what Full has to say. Let's see what Full has to break down for us. We'll be back for seed 3 after that analysis in just a second.
What an insane set of circumstances. This amazing matchup between Seven Raul and Oxidiot has been a super interesting one. I have had to be dancing between 3 different points of view to try and find and keep on top of absolutely everything. But let's talk about exactly what happened in this Fortress split for Oxidiot in the first seed. We can notice that Oxy, she got a bunch more strays in this Fortress. I'm not exactly sure how. This has happened in both seeds now. Oxy has got a little bit fortunate with the stray numbers. We can see heading back towards these strays. Going to Pearl even on such low HP because she knows she's still got 3 gaps in the inventory. So can afford to take a little bit of damage. And even if that Blaze, even with that Pearl going down to 1.5 health, still with a substantial amount of rotten flesh for the hunger bars, and then 3 golden apples as well for, the health reasons for 0 cycles or pearls later on. This is really useful and a good balance of food at this point in the run. However, then this is where we notice that not all is as it seems, because as Oxidia opens her inventory 3 times in this spot, I don't know exactly what's being typed up here. I don't know what's being attempted to be crafted. I don't know why we keep dragging our mouse down towards these golden apples. Maybe it's an attempt to put them into the offhand. At this point, that's the only thing I can think. Maybe going down here, trying to put them in the offhand. And then we notice, for a 3rd attempt, doesn't put them in the offhand. Instead, picks them up out of the inventory, closes the inventory, and we can all see what happens next. We can all see that it flows straight into the fire, tries to put it out, is too late. Those golden apples were no more. Meaning that Oxy had just 9 rotten flesh for the entirety of the rest of the run. And that's a tough thing for anyone to deal with, let alone when you're in this situation with a skeleton shooting at you, haven't blinded yet, no real spot to hunger reset. Gonna try and build the portal here. Blaze is coming at you from the left as well. Skeleton about to shoot you. Look at that Matrix Neo dodge right there as well, by the way. Look at this skeleton just in the left, pulling the crossbow just over here. It's gonna shoot at you. Tries to block it off, but doesn't block it off in time. Instead, just about backs up. The skeleton shoots through the block and almost hits, but just about misses. A very, very fortunate set of circumstances there for Oxy not to take a death in that specific spot, and is able to survive this onslaught by hitting a hunger reset in this overworld right here. And is able to bring back an absolute bunch of time through Raul grabbing some extra materials for 0. Having to head to, as the commentators did pick up, a really, really high point in the world as he flashes his F3 here. 103 on the Y, meaning that he has to dig so far down. And this terrain was a big difference between these 2 runners at this point. Obviously, Oxy blinding in a separate part of the fortress, meaning that she got a slightly better terrain decision to the stronghold. And even while using a pearl to try and sprint crawl and get in to a slightly better location, it still takes Raul a bunch of time to get to the final coordinates. And even though he is able to 0 cycle and Oxy has been in the end for about 1.5 minutes at this point, maybe he still has the chance to see things through. And with a super clean back cage dragon here with such low health, he's able to still kill the dragon. But unfortunately, it was too little too late. The one thing that I did want to bring up here is the immense bowcraft. Mid-0. Pulls out the crafting table, places it down, crafts a bow, and still gets that first bed off, such that he's able to bow the next rotation and double bed, killing the dragon before Oxy completes the seed. But all of that was in vain, as while boating down to the pillar, the match was indeed over. Oxy being in the end substantially early, a little bit fortunate with the strays, a little bit fortunate with the food, a little bit fortunate with the fact that the skeleton missed, a little bit fortunate with the better terrain to the different stronghold. But at the end of the day, Oxy got into that end dimension a couple of minutes ahead of Raul, and Raul had work to do to pick it back up on this second seed. And that's what we see here. That work was almost done for him through this mistake. Was it a mistake? I guess that is what we're about to find out. Grabs the water here, prepares to do the fast hanging portal setup. And do we see a misplace or do we see a desync? That is the question. And that, my good friends, is an unfortunate set of circumstances. Let's play that back at 1/5 speed just to see. Add some extra crunchy bitrate just to make sure. I mean, let's try and play it. Hello? 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 Is this thing working? Oh, yep, just about. Hello? Whoa! VLC Media Player is not happy with me right now. I guess I have to play it at... Whoa! What speed are we at? Relax. Relax. I need to win a ranked playoff match so that I'm able to buy myself a whole new PC so that I can review these clips for you a little bit better. But as you can see, I believe that this is unfortunate desync. As we see here, the lava does place underneath for just a moment or so. And then, unfortunately, with a little bit of desync, it does place in an incorrect spot. You do have to feel for Oxidiot in this situation where the crosshair is clearly under the block, but by moving backwards ever so slightly, we do see that it is not going to place in the correct position. Very unfortunate set of circumstances, but 1 minute of resets later is a really interesting thing that we see. Raul going for the Donkey Kong route here. Potentially not the ideal one. One big time save truly was the piglins coming from both the bottom and the top of the bastion for Oxidiot here. A lot of piglins from the lower terrain able to come up and help trade in the hole. However, also, the required 5+ obsidian that's found in at least one chest was not on this right triple for Raul. So maybe by Raul staying here, he would have been able to leave this bastion early. However, he does need to go and check the other side of the bastion, which is something that Oxidiot did not have to do. Oxy was able to leave off of just the chests on this right-hand side. And also the pearl slightly closer. It does help out small amounts. And maybe that pearl hang right there might prevent Raul's pigs from trading at this current moment in time. As you can see, all of the obsidian that's required is in that double chest there, meaning that Oxidiot didn't have to travel to the other shoulder of the rampart, meaning that we were able to see Oxy leave before Raul to head to the fortress, even though she had to reset the overworld, losing around about 45 seconds worth of time. A really, really impressive comeback in this bastion. A little bit of luck for both sets of players, but something that we did notice was the food situation, and Raul saving his notch apple until the end of the run, able to cleanly zero cycle, and no matter how much Oxy could push this, by only being a few seconds behind, every second did indeed matter there, and it did come down to the hunger reset in the portal room. Oxy trying to leave every bed as late as possible, but Raul able to comfortably zero this dragon and even gets a couple of crossbow cycles in there as well to be able to make sure that it is seen off. A little bit of extra knockback because of that crossbow cycle, but able to comfortably see it out with an explosive to spare and a bunch of hearts remaining. 1 seed apiece here. Will we see a seed number 5? If that is the case, you will see me again in this seed. Else, I will see you for the next one. Nerdy, Feinberg, take it away. Let's see these next seeds come up.
I mean, Nerdy, we might be
Incredible
seeing the start. We might be seeing the start of another Game 5 series.
I think it's possible.
Very possible. I think these seeds have been very very volatile though in how different RNG in seed has mattered. You know, like Fulham was showing in seed 1, different strongholds in seed 2. different Bastion routes, speed of the Bastion routes as well. So wonder if we can get back to a little bit of normalcy in the next couple seeds. But let's see. I think we're into a village here for seed 3. And then we're going to potentially be seeing some ocean seeds, seed 4, seed 5, if the runners want to pick those. But not going to have any food issues this time. Food issues in seed 1 and seed 2 for both players. But, I mean, unless you ignore the food in the village or get like a horrendously terrible village, we're going to be seeing some good food situations here. So no intentional hunger resets potentially. No intentional or unintentional deaths, hopefully. But we will see village seed that looks like an ocean seed at first glance.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah. Here we go, though. Ralph front-loading some gravel.
Oh, interesting.
Oxy as well.
I thought he was going for BT.
Going for BT, yeah.
Which would be awesome if you found it. But
so this is a little silly, funny thing. Oxy punched 2 gravel. Ralph punched 3. The third one is flint. So it doesn't really matter because it's not like Oxy's gonna lose the gravel somehow. But it is just a silly occurrence that Ral has this information. See what the second blacksmith has to offer. We have 6 obsidian so far. 11.
Make that 11.
And the lava pool. Oh my god, the lava pool is right there. So yeah, Ral, I don't think is going to kill the golem. I think is just going to gold axe some blocks here and enter with the 11 obsidian. Even though the lava pool is so close to the village, knowing that most ranked bastions will give you 20 by default. Very, very rare to only have 10 obsidian. But look at this. Ral missed a food chest. He sees it on a screen in front of him. Is he going to go for that house? He's not. Oxy 6 bread, 7 apples from that food chest. And I mean, Ral is handling these sheep well, but it's a lot of time lost compared to just opening that chest. So he's going to be a little behind on this nether enter and potentially behind on the food situation as well. Not good for Ral fans. Just missed that village house for one reason or another.
And Ral is just maybe 10 seconds behind or something. Maybe 5 seconds.
I think took a little bit better terrain towards the bastion. It has some more foods or more blocks. So Oxy is mining netherrack here. Ral is just going, and Ral actually 2 runners exact same spot almost. And Oxy, look at this. Oxy's forcing this upper terrain very heavily here. Ral has already committed to manhunt. I don't know if I love this decision. We'll see how it pans out when the runners leave the bastion, but Oxy investing a lot of blocks here. I guess that's why she was mining so much netherrack, because now only down to 21 wood for blocks and bed crafting. Ral's already on the backup blocks, starting to trade in the bastion, and has the manhunt pigs. I don't know if this is the best decision from Oxy.
Yeah, look at all those guys. We've got, and maybe this is Ral's chance to, last seed we saw Oxy save so much time in the bastion. Maybe this is Ral coming back and saying, you know what, I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna go even faster than Oxy's, incredible bastion routing. And so,
Ral has so many pigs from manhunt. I mean, Oxy might have a similar amount from top down, but he's started trading quicker. The only benefit here to the top down situation is the obsidian count potentially. If the obby is only in that top triple in the bastion, Ral hasn't checked the double chest outside of manhunt here, but his trades are done. The piglin had sword up, ready to fight. He's got 12 obsidian. He's able to leave. Just needs to check this chest. Can he rip 8 obsidian? No. So does need to go up.
Unfortunate.
420. And I don't know if there was 8 obsidian at the top. I'm not sure. Oxy dealing with the piglins as well. Ral fumbling the Pyre a bit. A little bit of a fumble here, but gets the direction. Is going to send a Pearling here before he goes to the top. Oxy at 19 obsidian. If Ral is up here and has 19, it's going to be so bad. He's at 18.
18. Oh, 22.
22 from the double. Is able to trigger that Pearl Hang and leave. Oxy still Pyrain. Going to be able to Pearl out this side as well. So very similar from both runners. In almost literally the same spot. Oxy maybe just a few blocks behind Ral, had to eat a gap early, but was able to craft the gap from the apple chest in the Bastion. Ral not able to, only on 3 mutton. Where is this fortress though? Oxy finds terrain, doesn't get a Pearl into lava. Ral finds terrain, but much worse. Oh, and hits the ceiling with that Pearl. And Oxy's already at a spawner. Found some better terrain, maybe went a little straighter towards the fortress. Ral's gonna need some clutch strays here. Pre-crafting everything he needs. And only zombie pigs on his screen. I think Oxy has the lead now for sure. But is that going to carry itself over into the stronghold, into the end? We will see.
And yeah, they are at different spawners here, but I wonder if
I guess potential for 2 different strongholds. Ral is at a fully open spawner, so some spawns can get eaten by the terrain for Oxy, right? On the edges of the spawner. It's not entirely fully cleared out. So Ral's potentially getting an extra blaze here and there, but I don't know if that's going to matter an absurd amount. Oh, Oxy takes a hit from a blaze on hard as well. So down to 2 bread, 5 apples. Still more food than Ral though. Ral only at 1 mutton.
right.
And she doesn't die, so could be a significantly worse situation. Ocean blind for Oxy as well, so could need to burn a Pearl to grab this eye back. Ral might not be in an ocean. He is.
Okay.
1,600 for Oxy though. Potential for 2 different strongholds. We're not going to know till they start going. I have the chords on. Rosnabat is neg pause. Oxy overlay doesn't have the chords, but it's very possible different strongholds again. Unlikely, but possible. Yeah, these rates are so bad, and I think this is helping Ral. Oxy having to dig out the side of the spawner to get like the max 4 spawns potentially. Ral guaranteed the max 4 spawns basically every time because no side blocks to dig out. So now they're tied on rods, and I think Ral's going to have more blazes on average per spawn cycle. Look at this. Oxy gets 2. Let's see how many Ral gets, if it's even synced up like that. I don't know. Ral gets 4. So maybe now potentially ahead, choosing a better spawner to blaze bed and rewarded for it potentially. But these rates so bad. No rod. All
good?
4 of those blazes.
I feel like that's just good for Ral though, because Oxy.
Oh, it is good that the rates are still bad. Oxy's still digging out the spawner, and it's still technically not fully cleared out. But there's a 4 spawn and a 3 spawn for Ral. I don't know if he's ahead or behind in the side. I have no idea what the cycles are looking like, but she's leaving. He's leaving. Oxy had a Pearl Hang, so she's potentially a little bit ahead on this terrain, and they're both heading the same way. Same terrain. Ral has soul speed, though, so he's zooming on this terrain. But Oxy is just ahead by a Pearl and a half. Bad Pearl from Ral. Oxy's at the chords first, but Ral's 20 blocks behind. Very, very close. Oxy has a hunger reset. Ooh, hello? Hello? Hello?
And Ral has a nav.
Hello? Okay. If Oxy wasn't ahead already going into the stronghold, she is now.
There we go. That's why. It's right below starter. That's what happened.
It is below starter. That is why. Okay. Oxy heading for the 0. Back tower. She is just so far ahead that even if Ral hits bed extensions, double beds, everything, it's not going to matter. Oxy's pushing 95 and gets there. Is it 3 bed, 3 anchor? 4 bed, 3 anchor, maybe even 5 beds. Oh, scary!
On
taking
fire.
damage! Taking fire damage! It's on the bed clutch, but bounces, no HP, items everywhere. It's on to Ral to win C3 now. Oh my god.
That's absurd.
He gets the double bed off. Good KB. Second double bed, and the dragon's dead in 5. No fire ticks. Ral at a heart and a half, but he's got the dragon dead.
Oh my god!
Dude.
Oh
Dude.
my god!
Dude.
We have Fulham in the background here.
Dude. What are we supposed to say? Like what?
It's just insane.
What are we
It's just
supposed to say?
insane. It's just insane. I think Fulham had it right. Just oh my god, what was that? That was awesome. No, that added to the epicness. That added to the craziness. That added to the drama. You know.
Dude.
Wow. What a match.
What am I watching? Like that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, Raul nabbed that stronghold so well. That was absurd. I don't know.
Yeah, considering he was the only person who had to nab the stronghold at all.
Yeah. Wow.
That was beautiful. Hit the wormhole straight down into the portal room. Kept his composure on the 0, even though he knew he was entering too far behind to do anything in an ideal scenario. And Oxy did just unfortunately choke. I'm not entirely sure. Like, I'd have to super analyze the clip, but she had another bed and then still opted to use the anchor instead of using the 4th bed. Use the anchor, which not only removes the ability to place the other bed. Again, I'm not sure if the dragon was too low for the bed. I couldn't tell just watching it live, so it's very possible. But because that anchor was used and Netherrack was the block that was being used to block the explosions, the fire from the anchor goes through and no fire res on Oxidiot's player meant that it was just over. Even if the dragon was dead, the fire ticks were going to come no matter what. Oxy was going to die. Which is what happened, and Ral takes C3. In a crazy twist of events. Just
crazy stuff. That was just absurd. I mean, wow. I feel like this match is like the whole day has just been insane. Like we've just been having just constant drama. Like no insane deaths, right? No matches that we had.
Worst mistake was just Oxy misplacing the obsidian, but that was still an insane scene.
I guess we have seen some 0 fails.
She was ahead into the fort. Like, it's just crazy. Let's see what our pick is for C4. I don't know what else to talk about. Like, I just want to get into the gameplay. Desert Temple pick. It's the seed that Oxy won, even through burning her gaps. It is her one victory. Now, granted, was that due to the Desert Temple? Was it due to the separate strongholds, better terrain, better stronghold? I don't know. Definitely, I think more so due to the Nether situation in the Desert Temple seed. And when you're picking the overworld, it doesn't change anything about what Nether the seed has. They don't correlate at all, you know? There's no predictive anything you can do there. It's not like, oh, Rune Portal seeds have a 50% chance to be stables, and Desert Temple seeds only have a 10%. So if you like stables, you pick Rune Portal. Not how it works. Random Nether every time. So here we go.
There we go.
Ral could close it out here. They have a very, very exposed temple seed. I don't know how to explain this. I meant like there's no real river. I don't know where we're getting flint.
Right.
Is what immediately sticks out to me on this seed. If there's no flint down here, Not a close visible river, not a pretty close ocean. Could be some potential for wood lighting. As a strap it on Oxy's screen, I see one gravel in the temple, and she spots it. Does Ral spot this as well? Ral does, but he doesn't grab any. It was on his screen, but Ral doesn't grab any gravel.
And that could
be potentially a big mistake. Oh, there's a room portal. Maybe he spotted that. Is there a chest, though? There's a chest. Okay. Did spot that. So we are good. Feather Falling 1 boots. Going to save half a heart on every pearl. Good stuff there. And even if Ral didn't see the room portal.
Oh, no, yes, okay.
Well, he's going to see it now for sure. Yeah, even if he didn't see it then, he sees it now. He's grabbing some lava to kill mobs better. I like the play here. Very confident on leaving on just 3 pork chop, 1 gap, some rotten flesh. Not going to kill any more pigs, and just going to go for the completion on the C-Dot portal. Oxy still getting food. Ral significantly ahead on this nether. Enter.
And there we are.
Oh, getting more wood. Okay, I see. Not as ahead as previously thought. Still a few seconds, but
about
very close.
Ral
on the Bastion as well. Ooh, where on the Bastion though? Are these runners? Look at this. 2 insanely different decisions already. Oxy fighting through the terrain. Ral going around. Could be very bad for one of these runners. It's weird, Nerdy, because the seed filter always guarantees that there are some amount of air blocks. The Bastion will never fully be in a wall. So I like Oxy's play. You have the blocks from the temple. You build up in that ravine. You try to get the height and play from there. And then if you have to eventually dig anyways, you're still going the right direction. Ral, 2.5 hearts. I think Ral got RNG fire ticked. And this is a really bad situation if you're a Ral enjoyer. He's stuck, forced on this low terrain. I don't know if he's even spotted the Bastion yet on his screen. And Oxy already starting to trade the bridge here.
Yeah, I mean we're talking. Wow, almost took a death there.
He finally spots the bridge, but yeah, definitely knows at this point that Oxy just found better terrain, and I think it is a misplay from Ral here. That he just didn't fight for that upwards terrain. The spike, Nerdy, it was so fast, and it is a wall, but there was some visible like something at the top of that ravine. So I don't fully agree with Ral's play here. We'll see if he can make this time back up. We will see. But if the seed ended right now, Nerdy, we would be going to a best of 5. So it's on Oxy to lose that time, on Ral to make up that time. We will see.
Oh, Ral getting hit by a piglin, but it's okay.
He's okay. Almost off the Bastion, but he is okay. Has to deal with a hoglin here, though. Very annoying when piglins are mad. One of them walks into the lava. That's -1.
And let's see if Ral can. I mean, we saw last time, Ral entered the bridge Bastion, a minute
faster and then left slower.
And now it's kind of the opposite situation going on here.
But both runners doing the same route this time. I'm not entirely sure how Ral's going to save this time. He just started trading the gold. Oxy's already prolonged out. Potentially just checking the trades one more time. And then leaving. 23 obsidian, string, pearls, fire res. Oxy's gone, and Ral has just started. Ooh, it's a lava pearl for Oxy, though. And no immediate spot on the fort. She is still looking. Hasn't been spotted. Yes, fort has been spotted. Very weird locations for these pearls. In a cave somehow, but at the fort. And at the spawner as well. arguably the best place to pearl onto most forts is directly at the spawner. And she is cranking the donut TNT.
And just
I mean,
pretty
Ross is still in the
commanding
bastion.
lead,
He
yeah.
entered so late because of that terrain. A double spawner here too, potentially, if you play the seed correctly. And Oxy like might need to die or like choke another 0 at this point. I don't know how Ral saves all this time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need to see something pretty wild. You know, different stronghold, really unlucky stronghold, death from Oxy.
I mean,
Something
six
like
rods
that.
already. 6 rods already.
I mean, yeah,
The rates
it's
are
just-
good, but like almost a full split ahead. Ral's
Oh,
dead.
and Ral is
Dead
dead.
in the nether as well. Somehow. Miss
didn't even
Pearl
catch
or
that.
something. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I think this was like already looking like we needed a major Oxy mistake. So
Yeah.
obviously that's bad for Ral, but the win condition was already requiring a really
See,
crazy
too messed
mistake.
up. Yeah.
I think
So
with that,
having
that removes the possibility of like a
minor mistake being a throw, like
yeah, maybe like a, I don't know, having
like
to
now
go back
Oxy
to an eye or
can
something.
Oxy can whiff the 0, and as long as she doesn't die, still probably fine.
Yeah, exactly. Or you know, maybe the stronghold can be a lot worse now for Oxy, even if Ral one shots it. Let's see here.
Yeah,
Our first like pretty substantial
Death
lead today, I feel.
Yeah, lead, death, all that jazz. I mean, Ral is fighting to get his stuff back, and he's ironically going the terrain that Oxy went. He's going to see right there. That's where he should have went for the bastion. Goes up the terrain.
Yep.
And knows like, wow, that's where all my time went.
So would you say overall, would you say that's skill, or would you say that's brain RNG, as you like to call it?
I think Ral made a incorrect decision trying to nav this this nether. I do think so. I think knowing that the bastion spiked so quickly is just very telling, right? That like it's so close. Even if you don't see terrain, I would at least try to just start boat crawling
And
mine out.
All the stuff.
Yeah.
So not the worst death we've ever seen. Not.
Why does it look like Oxy's on Gamma 1? What?
Oh my god. Dude, that is very dark.
Why does it? Yeah. So, Oxy hit her Gamma? Oxy's definitely on Gamma 1. But she's going for the 0. I mean, Ral's still trying to recover his stuff, but it's all eyes on Oxy here.
Here we are.
It is Gamma 1, maybe even lower than Gamma 1.
Oh my goodness.
Pull out of it. I mean, again,
Okay.
though, look at Ral's
Honestly-
situation. Oxy could sit here and wait for a force perch, and this is
Yeah.
where Ral's death is actually going to come into play a lot here, because he was probably only a minute and a half behind, but after that death, maybe 4 or 5 minutes behind, and that is too much time to come back from.
But honestly, you know, I wonder. Maybe it's no. I think Oxy just messed it up.
I mean, I don't know how
Oxy-
Oxy dies one cycling. Like, there's no
Yeah,
more,
no. I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say. I wonder if any of that like was maybe Oxy playing a little safe, knowing you have this huge lead on Ral. But
No, I think that's like, it's an idea, but
Oh, and I think Ral's dead.
no, he should be able to heal off this pork chop. Is he?
He's dead.
Okay, another half a heart. Yep, wasn't able to heal in time. I think maybe if he insta-ate that pork chop, he would have barely saved it, but seed was already over for Ral. It's more at in this situation, it's more about keeping the mental,
Yeah,
I would say. That's what it's more about. It's like,
I agree.
you know you're gonna have to play another seed anyways. Can you keep the mental?
Wow, and there we go. Yeah, that was our first not very close seed.
Of the day, yeah.
But I would say, you know, everyone has a bad seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ral can easily come back. I mean, he's literally was just winning, so he's not really coming back. He just needs to close out the seed if he wants to win. Oxy, on the other hand, just played pretty well. Did mess up the 0, but other than that, I feel like just played a really clean seed. And so for both runners, I feel like they're both looking pretty strong. They just lock in for this last seed. It could really go either way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about, I think, Raul having to bounce back the mental and just play the game he's been playing, because I think other than, like, you can kind of chalk up most of that loss on Seed 1 to just the Stronghold RNG. Like, Raul genuinely lost 2 minutes on that seed to different Stronghold nav and terrain to different Stronghold coordinates, and only lost that first seed by 15, 20 seconds. So I think in a different universe, Raul's up 3-1 right now and would have been up 3-0 and wouldn't have even had to be playing Seed 4. So I think if he can, channel that into his head, shake off the mistake, lock in, maybe take a little bit of a learning experience from the terrain decision. I don't know, but I think he just has to kind of lock in, and very doable for him to bring this back and stop the reverse mini sweep. I don't know. Like, it's not like you're winning 3 in a row. Like, you're winning 2 in a row. I don't know how, you know what I mean? It's not like,
yeah,
it's not a sweep, but yeah, whatever.
I know what you mean, Fiber. I know what you mean.
You do. I'm glad you know what I mean. I am glad you know what I mean.
I mean, what a phenomenal match, though. I'm in awe at how good the matches have been today overall. I mean, sure, that last match was maybe a little less interesting than the previous three, but I feel like overall the quality today has just been so high.
Yeah, and we are ready to get into our second film analysis of the seed, our fourth of the day. 2 best of 5s. Film enjoyers are eating good today. See what he has to do to break down these last 2 seeds that we just saw, and we'll be back for seed 5 right after that.
2 C5s in 2 games? These guys got me working overtime for 0 pay. All right, we are here. Seed number 5 coming up very soon. 2 seeds apiece. I think you guys already could tell exactly what I was saying after the first seed. I mean, I may have mistakenly clicked a hotkey that I actually genuinely didn't mean to. So you literally could hear my reaction. But nonetheless, let's go and analyze it. Analyze this seed in a tiny bit more detail than just 3 words. Let's see right here. Now, this is seed number 3. The score is tied 1 apiece. And Oxidiot coming into this seed having won the previous one, and rather than going to the lower terrain, decides to farm up some blocks here, and instead of going for Manhunt that we saw Raul do, decides to force the top terrain. And now, I don't think this was luck or misfortune or whatever, and I'm by no means a pro-ranked player, but I cannot see how this is correct in most cases. If Raul is able to retrieve his 20 obsidian from both A, trades, and B, the 3 chests that he's going to open, the double chest at the bottom and the single manhunt chest, you would really presume that he is going to leave earlier. And we did see he was done with trades substantially sooner than Oxidiot on this seed. However, the difference came in the fact that that obsidian did not come. I don't know what the percentage chance of that obsidian landing is, but I know that it's pretty high. So I think that Raul probably made the correct decision there. However, Oxidiot was able to make back that time in the fortress by using just really clean movement, clean decision making. We saw Raul use some inventory management away from a spawner, which is not really something that you'd ideally like to do. I think a couple of strays, but definitely not as many as the previous 2 seeds. Instead, I believe it was, really, really smart that Oxidiot chose the spawner that she chose in the end and dealt with the lava very quickly. But one thing we have to talk about is this. When she's ready to build her portal, builds it in a slightly different orientation to how Raul builds it, but also at a similar Y height. Except, this isn't starter staircase. And as nerdy Julie noted, it is directly beneath. And so Oxidiot clearly blinding at hitting a second portal at a different Y level, snapping to the portal room. A very fortunate set of circumstances, but I believe she was ahead nonetheless. And now using just netherrack and soul sand to build up with here, 5 HP, but with apples, potentially able to eat in the interim of this zero cycle. Hits the first bed, hits the second bed cleanly, hits the third bed and the fourth bed. But that fourth bed, for some reason, didn't come. And I believe this is because Oxidiot may have thought that the dragon was too low on this rotation. Instead of opting to have a bed which may actually break, going for an anchor to allow for some extra knockback. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to zero cycling, so that may be an incorrect piece of analysis there, and if it is, then I can only apologize. But that's the only real idea that I could have as to why she's chose to blow up this anchor here, rather than the bed. However, the blocks used to defend that anchor was netherrack, which is not perfect and does cause fire to spread to the netherrack pillar that she's built up on, and causes her to try and have to panic, move backwards, attempt to blow up this final crystal. Does blow it up, just a touch too early, doesn't get the kill credit, falls down onto this extra fire, and is holding backwards. Holds backwards and just falls from the pillar. I believe that maybe she could have got that apple off in her 9th slot had she have not fallen off the pillar afterwards. I am not sure as to exactly why she decided to do that. Maybe it was just a mechanical error or, you know, a shift not being pressed, etc. The damage, you know, it's a very overwhelming situation. You don't get to review this back with all of the pauses in the interim like I do. When you're playing the seed, you have to do this at full speed. But unfortunately, there was nothing in the inventory to clutch. Maybe a water bucket could have been found had there have been one, but there wasn't one to be found in this inventory. You've got the boat potentially, but nonetheless, she's probably going to die from the fire tick damage anyway. Can't pearl down, and does go for the bed clutch, which I think is pretty impressive, and does bounce up. But it's not going to be enough to save her, allowing Raoul to finish this one off, as we see here. And as you could probably hear in the background of the mainstream, me screaming, "Oh my god!" And I don't think that there's any other words to describe how close this match was. And after a really, really clean zero cycle from Raoul, using Netherbrick as the defensive block, and also even trying to push it to use all of the crossbow zero cycle rotations that he can, because he still thinks he's behind at this point in time. But little does he know, he didn't need any of it. But with only 3 rotations, the dragon is dead. 5 explosives, very, very clean. Really nice finish to the seed from Raoul, but he was behind initially. So, Oxidiot, again, potentially in the lead, but a severe and crucial mistake, as I believe has been the case for a couple of playoff seasons at this point, has messed her up. But in this next seed, it wasn't Oxidiot who made the severe and crucial mistake. Instead, it was Raoul. Taking this lower terrain was definitely a decision that the commentators picked up on instantly, but something that could not have been picked up on instantly is the fact that the ground in front of him set alight as he's running to this Hoglin. Something that is pure RNG and something that is genuinely unfortunate. I don't think you can prevent that in any way. I think that that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. He tries to put it out straight away, gets hit by this Hoglin then as well, takes a little bit of extra damage, a little bit unfortunate in that sense. So when he thinks this is great because I'm going to be grabbing extra food, in fact, it requires him to use more food to heal back up. And at this point, he takes a different terrain path after that. Maybe it's because he was kind of thrown for a loop there because of that Hoglin interaction that he chose the lower terrain. As we saw, he chose the higher terrain after what happens next. And we're going to see what happens next as he's attempting to leave this bastion on low render distance with a Pearl Hang. A very high amount of Hoglins, as you can see underneath him. Another one just here. And the Pearl Hang lands when he didn't want it to. That's a substantial thing that I believe the commentators may have missed during the main part. He's attempted to Pearl Hang, but it's landed at a time he wasn't expecting. He crosses that chunk boundary, and it pearls him into the side of a tree, dealing him a decent amount of fall damage here, putting him down to a lower amount of hearts than he would have wished for. Looking for the fortress, comes to that location, and then the hoglins have tried to escape from the bridge. He's attempting to run away from it, but the hoglin is able to parkour up the side of a tree and deal his final damage to Ral. And although Oxidiot almost messed up the zero cycle, in a position where personally, I don't think zero cycling is the correct play, given the fact that upon entering the end, Ral had not even entered the fortress yet. So given that it could be a 3-minute max force perch, the risk to reward ratio is minuscule in my eyes, and I do believe that it is probably not the right play to always zero cycle there. On the 5% chance that you mess it up and die, there's a 99% chance that you're going to hit the perch on a one cycle in the time before Raoul gets to the end and successfully zero cycles. Hence, in my eyes, I believe it was a misplay to go for the zero, but obviously Oxy was able to clutch it out very comfortably even after falling, and able to cleanly one cycle the dragon as a backup with enough explosives to do exactly that. Raoul taking a death in that seed, substantially putting him behind, but Oxy was ahead before that. And it feels like that's the tail of the tape so far. Oxy ahead on most seeds, but sometimes a big mistake can throw her for a loop. Didn't happen in this fourth and final seed though. Oxidiot simply playing better throughout the seed. Will we see that again, or will we see Oxidiot make a mistake? It all comes down to this final seed. The winner is going to advance to next weekend, and the loser will crash out of the tournament here and now. Seed 5, Feinberg and Nerdy, take it away.
Wow.
We're getting another seed 5. And I hope it's closer than seed 4. I hope we can just avoid those... potentially those unlucky, those inevitable deaths that make the seeds a little too far away. And that's all I can really ask for. Let's see what the seed pick bans are. We've left the runners waiting enough. We are running it back on the room portal. Seed that Ral won. Again, doesn't really change up the nether or the end, just the overworld. It's the shortest split in the run. And I'm just hoping that this is the 4th room portal we've seen tonight already. I'm hoping that this is going to be the first one that they can complete with Obsidian and don't need to build a portal with lava. That's all I'm asking. It's really not a tall ask in these room portal seeds. I'm just hoping it's something that we can get into the nether without a bucket.
I feel like that's a reasonable request, Feinberg.
I feel like it's very, very reasonable. Not even asking for a golden axe, not even asking for food, just a room portal that we're not sitting around getting a bucket. Oh my god. Wait, they played the seed. Okay, wait. Ref mistake. We'll run it back. Yeah. We'll run it back.
I was gonna say.
We'll run it back. It's okay. This happens like once or twice in playoffs. It's all good. It is what it is. Imagine we just have them play it. It's just a test. Like, did you save the chords in your impot?
That would be funny.
It happens once a season. It's bound to happen. Life is life. We play. How many seeds do we play?
I thought life was Roblox, Feinberg.
It depends on the day.
Depends on the day. Okay.
But yeah, we'll get back into it in literally just a few seconds. And then we will have a C5. And there's still a chance that could be a completable room portal without a bucket. My heart dropped for like half a second. I was like, no, it's another hanging portal. And then I realized
it might be Feinberg. I hate to say it. That doesn't change the fact that this seed might be yet another rune portal seed without Obsidian. It's possible.
It is possible. I really hope not, because that would.
I'm hoping for the 12
suck.
golden carrots, looting 3 sword, golden axe, completable rune portal, fire charge.
You're asking for a lot. You're asking for a lot. It's possible.
I think that's like a pretty reasonable ask. Probably like 1 and 2 or something.
I just want the Obsidian and then like a gold tool. If it's a gold hoe, whatever.
That's all you
They
want?
gotta get something.
I think my request is more reasonable. Mine's like 1 and 2. Yours is like 1 and 4.
No, yours is I think a little.
Oh, it is?
We'll see. Surely we can pause on Pal's Rao's stream, fix the delay in a second here too. But this is looking to be a Obsidian
There we
completable. There's an
go.
axe as well. Okay, so no food, but very similar situation. Rao can't find the room portal. He does find it. Only maybe 10 seconds of time loss here. But it's the mental, nerdy. It's the mental.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, we've got...
And at least, I mean, he knows where those pigs are for food. That is something. Oxy does also have the same pigs.
Yeah. We've got...
Shears coming out
all
as
the
well for
tools,
blocks.
yeah. Very good usage of the iron.
Tree
I'm a
in
big
the
fan of
room
the
portal
shears.
here.
I think I just like the shear play every time.
Is Rao going to go grab those pigs? He is. Look at this. Oxy, though. Oxy threw her shears away. Didn't shear the leaves out of the room portal. So a little bit of time lost there, but not enough to offset Rao not finding the room portal for a bit. So we'll see that. And is he going to grab this gold block? He is. Oxy also notably, I think, didn't grab this gold block, unless I missed it. We'll see.
And here we go. Raw with...
It's a...
Yeah, Raw's just behind, I think. I mean, a little bit less blocks for Oxy,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Visible bridge chalice and visible fort as well. Is Ral going to find the same terrain? Is he going to be able to get to this chalice? Oxy did grab the gold block. Must have been before the enter then as well. So does make sense too. She did pre-craft gold boots. Ral maybe found better terrain here, but I'm not sure exactly how much it's going to matter. He is able to not have to bridge like really at all to get onto this bastion. But he's not entering directly at the chalice.
And here we are. Just a few gold blocks behind here for Ral.
Yeah. And Ral is a little delayed on the
Ooh, that's a
stream
good point.
still. We'll
That's
see
a
if
good
we
point.
can get that fixed.
5
It is
seconds,
just a
actually.
Twitch
So
thing
they might just be
sometimes.
like 4 seconds.
Yeah, Ral's closer than it looks. I think he's still behind, but it is closer than it looks. I think just a better terrain decision to the bastion saved a few seconds. And both runners here going for this right side triple. Ral, interesting route here. I think it's a right side Donkey Kong. So potentially getting more piglins than Oxy, trying to save the ones from the
Wow.
bridge. And he's got a
Look at that.
lot. He's got a lot flooding
Look
in
at
here.
that.
Oh my God, he's got a lot flooding in here. So these trades might crank, and Oxy started these faster, but she's got a stack of gold still left to trade. Maybe even 2 stacks. Raul's going to be done with this gold so fast. Getting an iron axe crafted as well. Unfortunately, he doesn't have string for the blaze bed just yet. Maybe going to try to pick up one of those. I see a gas to the side. Issue potentially. But it looks like it's fine. Gets the gas handled. Oxy getting her pre-crafts in as well. Blaze bed, bucket, axe, Ral, pearl hanging. I don't even know if he needs to check the other single. He's got 13 obsidian. That's the only real issue here, I think, it seems. I don't think he's going to get 20 out of these trades. He does, actually, 22, so he's able to leave, but Oxy's already gone. And I think Oxy saw the fort and is just trying to... Oh, scary pearl. Just trying to get back. But Ral, look at Ral. Fort more visible on his screen.
Yeah.
Oxy Pearl is into lava as well. That's some time loss having to
It's
pearl
all
back
time
up.
loss.
Ral's on the fort. Terrible strays for Ral though. Quality wise, a lot of wither skellies. He might just have to commit to the spawner here. But not much better on Oxy's screen either.
Ooh. That scared me.
And that's a far pearl back. Oh, dead! No!
I didn't
Block
see
clutch! No block clutch! 3 hearts side of the fort. Block wasn't there. The downwards angle wasn't correct. Block was not able to be placed. Pearl was not thrown in time. And the items are safe and the shears are on the ground, so it might not be a terrible, terrible death, but it's a lot of time loss. We'll see how close these items are. It might not be as bad as it looks. The death was literally right down here, so this could be potentially a very fast recovery. And yeah, there it is. So maybe only 30, 40 seconds of time loss.
One of the least punishing deaths I think we've ever seen in ranked, as far as like post Bastion
like
death.
full dying, like just on the fort. Yeah, so still winnable.
So Ral is definitely taking a bit of a commanding lead at this point because of those kind of mistakes. And definitely is his game to lose, I would say.
Refresh stream, there we go. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know it yet because Oxy did die after getting the fortress advancement, but he does have a nice lead here. Oxy having to deal with a ghast. 3.5 hearts. Gets returned to sender. Skeleton as well. 2 hearts now.
1 heart. Back up.
Skeleton again. Yeah, it's very, very scary situation.
And meanwhile, Ral's just chilling.
Ral's out. I think Ral's out.
Yeah.
Ral's out. Yeah, he's gone. Henny's Accords. Has the rods, has one more pork chop after this as well, so potentially doesn't even need to hunger reset in the portal room. Might after that, Pearl. Especially after one more, yeah. So definitely probably seeing a hunger reset in the portal room. Unless pork chops heal 5 hearts, which they honestly might.
Ooh, that scared me for a second for Ral, but
Yeah.
he's all good.
Oxy still has to measure eyes. Still taking damage from a skeleton, I think. 4 hearts. Now just measuring. Ral having some issues with the soul sand bridging here, but he is so far ahead that these minor mistakes, as long as they don't spiral into major ones, he's still in a very good spot here.
There we are.
Gets the preemptive spike. Insta finds the portal room as well. Aggressive pearls for the hunger reset. And if Ral doesn't choke this 0, he's going to be moving on to the next weekend of matches. So many beds in the inventory. So many anchors. He knows he has time as well. Oxy not even in the stronghold. Has good quality blocks. Has nether brick. Has a lot of soul sand. It is 91. He can go to 95 and extend by 1. He can also go to 99. He's pushing 99 here.
Can he close out this
with
seed?
a rotation to spare as well? No bow for bed extensions, but doesn't need the time. Just needs to finish the seed. Oxy dead again, but it's too little too late. Doesn't really matter. Ral chokes the double bed, so needs an anchor, but still good. More than enough explosives. That's going to close it out. Another intense best of 5. No Endermen are angry. No Endermite has been spawned. And Ral takes seed 5, takes the best of 5 in an 8-minute seed as well. Very fast. Our first good room portal of the day.
Wow. And Ral just takes the win. A wonderful 5-match or 5-seed game once again. I mean, just really well played for Ral in that seed. You know, it was a dangerous SSV fort, and you know, someone as good as Oxy took 2 deaths, right? Like that was clearly a very challenging seed, and Ral just played safe and made it work, and took this series. Yeah,
and I mean, it's not like even Oxy really threw that bad of a pearl when she died. It was just had to block clutch on the side of the fort and wasn't looking at the right angle to be able to place a block down. And so just started falling and couldn't block clutch, just wasn't at the angle where the blocks can even get there. And unfortunately didn't have the reaction time to, you know, realize that she was falling. Maybe it was like one of those falls that's just far enough to kill you, but not far enough to really set in that you're falling. So wasn't able to get a pearl down to pearl clutch on the ground either. And it's unfortunate, I guess, that the last 2 seeds of this best of 5 end in deaths, but still an incredible series. Was almost comebackable from Oxy 2. Really wasn't an insane death in terms of time loss, but that is the end of Oxidiot Season 5 playoff bracket run. Ral will be moving on to next weekend